Hello, 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 and welcome to Get It Off Your Chest, the funny side of breast cancer. I'm Estelle Marr, and I'm joined in Titty Towers today with the ever-burgeoning, gorgeous person that is...
Andrea Moulding. And here I am, looking gorgeous, as always.
Hello, Twinkle Tits. How are you?
I'm very good. I'm very well. How about you?
I'm fabulous. Yeah, we think we just should tell everybody we don't have a guest today. And do you know why? Because it's our birthday. We are a year old today. Happy birthday to us.
Yes, happy birthday. Yes.
Happy birthday to
I
us.
start singing Claire Grogan, whatever it's called. Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're 80s chicks.
We are 80s chicks.
But I'm mixed race, so I need to do Stevie Wonder. Happy birthday to you. Got to do that one. Got to give our Stevie a bit of a nod.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, a whole year. I think we should get the champagne out and celebrate. What do you reckon?
Well, you can, and I know you already have because I can see it in your hand. But I'm drinking fizzy water with lemon cordial.
Do you want to tell all the disappointed listeners out there why you're drinking fizzy water?
Well, because I've decided to put my health first as a priority. And I've done dry January. But I did.
You're only prioritising your health for January. Come February, you're back on.
I've already had a lapse.
Oh, I think when did you have a lapse?
Yesterday.
You didn't even make it to the halfway mark.
I was lying there going, life's not worth living. I'm just going to go to bed. It's 5 o'clock. And Paddy said, do you fancy a drink? And I was like, well, I shouldn't really, but okay. So yeah, we went out. What can I say? I'm back on it. Look, I'm back on it now.
Well, you're not really back on it. You're probably just hungover. That's why you're on the fizzy water and you're trying to make out you're back doing dry January.
Oh, no.
I probably do a dry January every week, judging by the way you do it.
Oh, right.
Do you know what I mean? Because, I don't drink all the time. I didn't drink between 1:30 and 2:30 today. So does that mean I'm doing dry January?
Well, exactly. I'm now not taking any cancer medication at all. So letrozol's been knocked on the head, I've been told. So that's my 5 years.
5 years, yeah.
Yeah, and also because I'm developing osteopenia. So I'm kind of stuffing my face with green vegetables. Yeah,
how do you feel about coming off the tablets?
Well, to be honest, there was quite a shortage. I don't know if there was where you are, but letrozole was because of Brexit. There was a national shortage, so I couldn't get it for like a month. So I kind of eked it out every other day. And then the day that I could officially give it up, the 1st of January, a whole big package of it arrived. So I've got about 4,000 tablets of it now. But what can you do? We'll put it in our store that we've got, Estelle.
Oh, our department store.
Our department store, yeah.
When people come in and go, I've got osteopenia, we go, oh, you want pharmacy? That's on the 4th floor. We've got letrozole and letrozole.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all we've got.
Actually, I have 3 bottles of morphine in my cupboard as well. They can't give me enough morphine. So, I could be the what's that bloke called?
Pablo Escobar.
Pablo Escobar. My cupboard looks. Yeah, Loughborough, yeah. I've got tablets coming out of my ears. Honestly, I've got bags and bags of them. They're all covered in dust. I don't know what to do with them because you can't put them down the toilet. So, I could either poison the water for the whole of Loughborough or become a drug dealer.
You do be a drug dealer in your, what is it you drive? Daewoo Matiz or something? She doesn't.
Daewoo Matiz.
That well-known drug dealing car. Blacked out windows and all that. Oh well. So it's our birthday. We don't have any guests today, so we thought we'd read out some letters and basically let's have a little review
for the year.
Yeah,
because it's been a roller coaster, hasn't it, Estelle?
It has.
Because when we started, it took us a while to find our voice. Well, it didn't really, did it? Because the first one, we just had a drink and just chat, chat, chat.
We still do.
Yeah, well, you might, but my body is cleansed.
It's been cleansed since 1 o'clock this morning when she fell in the house and started eating the doormat because she thought it was a pizza. Go on.
Yeah. So yeah, what were we talking about? Yeah, when we first started, we well, I think it was you, wasn't it? You said we've got to. I'm not just doing a podcast about breast cancer. We're going to do it and make it funny. And I think as time's gone on, people have really appreciated that. Humour is. I know it's cliche, but it is the best medicine. And I don't think there's many podcasts out there that are kind of do that sort of thing, really. So
bluntly put, we take the piss out of cancer, and each other.
Yes, Estelle wanted to bully me, didn't you? Because I'm a southerner.
Well, we both got pretty thick skins. But come on, highlights of the year.
Oh, well, I think my favourite story was Kerry, who had ice tattooed on the back of her head.
I was washing my hair one day, it was long, and I said, if I am going to lose my hair, I'm going to marry my love of montages and fashion and make a hairtage. And I shaved my head from long to short, and I had all these looks in between, like a mullet and a mohawk. And the next day I went and got my own eyes tattooed on the back of my head, because my philosophy on the whole thing was, all right, if I'm going to be Mr. Clean Bald, I'm going to give him something else to look at. And I definitely want to give him something else to talk about other than cancer.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's still one of my favourite stories, actually.
She was a hoot, wasn't she?
Yeah. I mentioned her. I did an article in the paper the other day, and it had actually referred to her story.
Yeah, she was a force of nature. She was hilarious.
I really liked. Do you remember Holly? She was on not so long ago. So Holly, our lovely Welsh one.
Oh yes, she was funny.
So Holly was telling us about when she went to hospital, and unfortunately, the person who was trying to clean her up at the time, she actually knew.
Next thing, I wake up in a bed. I'm like, what is that smell? Oh, I've actually shat myself. So anyway, this male nurse comes. I went, I need a female. Do you mind? He said, I'll go and get a female nurse for you. I was like, great. This nurse walks in. She's only the daughter of a friend that I went to school with.
Oh, Jesus.
I can't ask this nurse to wipe my ass. That was the most degrading thing, but I can laugh about it now. It could only happen to me. That at that moment, on that specific day, that nurse was on duty, and that nurse was on ass wiping duties, and that she came to wipe my ass. Do you know what I mean?
Oh no, that was just hilarious. I love that. It was brilliant.
Have you noticed, like, all the funny stories they always were talking about? I don't know,
Bodily functions. Yes.
Poo.
Oh, I thought Lisa. She was hilarious.
When she was talking about the CBD oil.
Yes. Everybody talks about
Very common.
vaginal dryness.
Yeah.
And then they abbreviate it to VD, which is venereal disease.
Well, yeah.
Abbreviation.
I've never seen anybody put VD they just say they're just dry. Matter of fact, we have a CBD lube that my boss sent me with some samples to Colorado to give these people, because we do have CBD lube for that. But yeah, no, my shit don't work. And my doctor goes, we have medicine for like that. And I was like, no, don't fix it. I don't want it fixed. It doesn't work. I don't think about it. I don't need it. It doesn't matter. I don't have to worry about any of that.
So sorry, CBD lube. So
CBD lube, yeah.
Yeah, but so, and do you feel effects of it, or is it just
It gets your
makes
pussy high.
That still makes me giggle now.
Oh,
that you carried on about that. That was hilarious.
That really was hilarious. She is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Love that.
And what about the one about the arsehole? What was her name?
Emma was the girl I was on the ward with when she was describing her belly button.
But they do have to cut your belly button out, so your belly button ends up kind of, you feel don't know, I felt like I wasn't really human for a while. It's like, I haven't got a belly button anymore. That's what makes you human, isn't it? So yeah, you just kind of make
Can
a
you
little
tell our
hole in-
listeners how you now describe what your belly button looks like?
like a bumhole,
Wow.
like a bumhole.
She's saying it very politely, boys and girls. She didn't say it like that to me.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, that was the funniest thing ever. That was so funny. For someone who's had DEP surgery, I can tell you that that's a fabulous
Didn't
description.
your Paddy say something about it?
Yes, it became the kind of standard criticism whenever I showed anyone my surgery. Yeah, pretty funny.
Show me your arsehole.
Yeah, we're so
Oh,
classy, aren't we? So
We have,
classy.
we've had some brilliant ones. I particularly like Sonia. And I know I shouldn't because it was one when you were in the big smoke in London. But I particularly liked the story when she was saying about on that Zoom call.
Oh, yes.
My hair started falling after my second chemo. I'd just taken on this new contract and I was organising this big conference call across about 4 different time zones. So anyway, I'm organising this and there's like the CEO and there's the vice president of programs. It's American organisations. They love all of these big titles. So I popped downstairs, as you do, to get your bikini wax. I'm in a hotel. I go downstairs. I've got my phone with me. So I'm there with sort of, legs splayed. They've got the hot wax all over me. But then I hear the Skype ringtone and the call that I'd organised with like these people in different parts of the US, different parts of the Middle East was starting. It was fucking starting. It's a fucking video call coming on. So I answer it on video, holding it like incredibly close to my face. So I answer it on video, and I think they could probably see up my nostrils, and that was about everything to see.
That was just hilarious. I love that.
Absolute classic, that one. I mean, can you imagine just lying there? It's just the way she said it. You can just imagine how close that phone was to her face, can't you? Absolutely terrified in case somebody's seen her. A hoo-ha.
Brilliant.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, I mean, there's just too many to mention, really.
Too many. We've had some brilliant
Yeah.
guests. And, we've
And I'll tell you what,
all-
we've really made a community as well. Made lots of friends through the
Yeah.
cast, haven't we? You
Yeah.
know, and it's a really, really supportive community.
And it's just amazing how quickly it has grown. It just shows that there was a need for it out there. We've got, I mean, they're all over the world, aren't they? Where, the mad places. Where are these mad places?
Puerto Rico, Turkey, Belgium, well, obviously America, they don't say where. Just like every place you could think. Mexico, Ireland, Australia. Brilliant.
It's just absolutely brilliant, isn't it? Just how far we're reaching. We're reaching everywhere, quite frankly.
Yeah,
And
it's great.
yeah, and to say, we've only been going a year and we weren't, what was it? We weren't experienced.
No, we kind of just fumbled our way through it, really, didn't we?
We really did. We got a microphone each and went, hey, let's call this place Tissy Towers and let's see if we can find anybody with
And we did.
with
we did.
cancer-riddled tits. And we did.
We actually designed the logo on a packet of fags, virtually, didn't it? It wasn't a packet of fags, but do you remember? We were talking to each other for ages going, what about this name? What about this name? And you kept going on Google going, it's a porn film. It's a porn film.
Yeah.
And then we gave up. And my friend Baz came round. He said, what about get it off your chest? But yeah, so we just took it from there. I think people
That's what
get it,
says
don't
on the tin. Yeah.
they? I was going to say, actually, you did allure to it. You did mention it briefly. Tell our listeners about your famous, how you got into a pretty massive newspaper.
I was in the Metro for our international listeners. The Metro is the second largest newspaper in the UK. And they did a piece on me about my cancer journey and the importance of humour when it comes to cancer. And podcast got a shout out. Woohoo! So yes, I believe 26 million people read the Metro. So we're hoping that there have been cancer victims. I don't like the word victims. Cancer people who want to come on the show. They'll read the article and go, "Oh my God, I've got a really funny story." So yeah, they'll get
Yeah.
in touch and send
Well, I've
us-
got quite a lot of people lined up actually who are coming on
There
the
you
show.
go. Yeah.
Yeah, so
All these
Come and-
communities that were reading Metro.
yes, come and join the fun.
Yeah.
But
So-
no, Estelle and I are having competition to see who can get on the most things. And Estelle, every time I get on Leicester Radio, she always has to go one step further, don't you?
Yeah, that's
So,
it.
I'm going to be on opera next week. I can't even say it. Opera. I am from the south, darling.
Opera. Are you going to sing your way through it?
I am.
uh,
I am.
I'll be quite happy going on Lorraine Kelly.
Lorraine. I love Lorraine. Mm.
Hi.
Well, I think you know, if there's someone out there who's got a TV show that wants us on to just
Yeah.
talk rubbish for 20 minutes, you know, we're both available.
Right, let's have a little dig in our mailbag, shall we? And let's see if there's anything exciting that we
Hey.
want to read out.
Shall I go first?
Do it.
This one is from somebody called Sheila, and she puts in brackets, it is her real name for once.
Oh.
So she's not called, you know, Lucrezia or, you know, the Valerie or what we normally say. This is actually her name. So Sheila, if you're listening, thank you for sending your story in. So when she first got breast cancer, she used to go to the unit, and she, like all of us, she made quite a lot of friends. Because you talk to everyone, don't you, Estelle, when you're actually at the
Oh God, yeah.
yeah, you know, you talk to anyone who'll listen, basically. Anyway, she got this kind of band of friends that she kind of met up with, you know, under those horrible circumstances. And they were a right laugh. And she said they used to kind of meet up for cocktails in the middle of the day because none of them were working because they were all going through cancer treatment. And then she said they were all bald. She said, so we'd go and have cocktails in the middle of the day, which you don't normally do. Well, maybe you do and stuff. And she
I
said,
brush my teeth with a Paul Star Martini. Go on.
and she said, as we weren't working, we used to go to department stores. And as we were bald, we used to enjoy pretending to be mannequins. We'd all cluster together and stand with our hands in the air posing. We used to think this was hilarious. So they go to and
Oh, I like that.
and they'd all be in a kind of cluster. So they'd all kind of just stand in a kind of corridor and pose like mannequins. So they used to just think it was hilarious. Until one day, a woman came up to me and with her friend, and she started pulling at my cardigan and said, really gone downhill. Look at the quality of that. You went on to say how the cut is really poor. Christ, who dresses these things? And her mates just started like shaking. They were all together. And they never let her forget it. So every time she goes out, they all pull at her clothes and say, Christ, who dresses this thing? And she said that most people, when they realise that they're just having a laugh, think it's really funny. But they did do it in the children's department because they went round the department. They couldn't find any kind of mannequins. So they went to the children's department where they actually had some mannequins. And they stood there. And one woman got really, really stroppy and told them that it was incredibly inappropriate. So the next time they went to they or whatever department store it was, they went in
Yeah.
They were-
For the boys and girls out there, she keeps saying the shop, but I keep bleeping over it because we're not allowed to say.
oh right, okay, say what we like. Anyway, the next time they went in there, whatever department store it was, they all went in wigs and big glasses so that nobody knew who they were. I think that's actually
I love
pretty
that.
hilarious.
The thing is, what's so great about cancer, because it gets rid of that filter, you're just up for anything, really, aren't
Yeah,
you?
you just don't care. I've got another one. Do you want me to read another one, or do you want to?
No, I'll read one, because you're just like completely taking over this show.
That's me. Yes, it's all about me.
I'll bet you, baby. So this one is from Kelly, and that's her real name as well. But these
Right.
people are starting to use their real name. If you've got the
Yes.
balls to tell us your real name, you should be coming on the show, quite frankly.
Yes.
There you go. So she wrote in and she said, I had triplets back in 2003, and by the time they were 2, I discovered.
She hasn't got time to come on the bloody show. She's got triplets.
I know, yeah, true. So by the time they were 2, she discovered a lump in her right breast, she says. So having cancer while only being 30 and having 3 toddlers was going to be hard. But as all mums know, when you have babies, sex is quite low on the agenda. But a couple of times a week, my poor husband would try his hand and see if he could get fresh with me. I would constantly snap at him to leave me alone, as I just wanted some sleep. Well, we've all been there, haven't we? Yeah, honestly.
That's all the women in the world going.
Yeah, what's that in my back? So she says, anyway, I know it sounds bad, but one thing I was secretly looking forward to after the operation was I knew I would be in a hospital for a few days and I'd get some rest. We hear you, sister.
Yeah.
She says, I know that there are bigger things to worry about, but I've been exhausted for 2 years, and it seemed the only way I was going to get a decent night's sleep was to have a general anaesthetic. So, off she went.
Same with you, isn't it?
Yeah, it's true. Honestly, it's the only time I get a decent sleep is when I have surgery. I rub my hands together with glue. So she says, off I went down to the theatre, and they prepped me up, plugged all the machines in, and they warned me they were about to administer the anaesthetic. My next memory was being wheeled from the recovery room down to the ward, where I managed to settle and had another few hours sleep. In fact, I didn't really come to properly until the following day, and after my breakfast, my surgeon came to see me with the Macmillan nurse. I'd gotten quite friendly with the nurse during my pre-treatments, and she asked me if I could remember being in the recovery room. I racked my brain trying to recall, but failed miserably to recollect anything. I could see her giving the surgeon the side eye and smirking, panic setting. Did I fart? I asked. What they and they thought that was hilarious. No, nothing like that, they said. Then what is it then? Tell me. Between them, they told me that when they were trying to revive me, the surgeon was adjusting the dressing on my chest. Apparently, I then slapped his hand and said, "Get off me, I'm too tired for a shag." To this day, I still can't remember it happening. I also think my husband was pleased to know that I don't play around. The triplets are all in uni now, and I'm glad to say we're back at it like rabbits. Like rabbits.
Rabbits.
You'd be knocked up with triplets again if you keep going like rabbits.
Yeah, you think she'd have learned. I bet those surgeons hear some hilarious stuff.
Oh, they must do.
Didn't you say something about?
Yeah, I thought Mel Gibson was speaking. Why aren't you in Hollywood? I was convinced.
Oh.
No, but how did you find the anaesthetic?
Well, as an international drug dealer, Estelle, anaesthetics are part of my portfolio. I actually remember just laughing and joking with the surgeon. Whereas when I first had my mastectomy, I remember having the anaesthetic. Then he gave it to me to shut up because I was bawling my eyes all the way down. Like, shut him up! Get that cannula in.
I mean, yeah, I do love it because it does honestly knock you out. But I must admit that when I woke up, as you know, I was on a board with Emma, who's a previous guest who you've just heard with the auto, and the lovely Lindsay, who's no longer with us, God rest her. But yeah, we just talked all night. We just gabbed and laughed all night. So yeah, the anaesthetic is well and truly done its job. Felt like we'd had a good night's rest, and we were ready to boogie on down. And it was 1 o'clock in the morning. That was the night when we got told off.
We've all been there, and I think it's healthy to be told off by one of the nurses. I think it shows that you're, coping. Do you know what I mean?
what we got pissed off about was the fact that she was telling us off and she had mascara rings under her eyes. So we'd clearly woken her up. That was the thing. And she was
Yeah.
making out it was the next ward. And, you know, you're just like, oh, behave. You know, you were getting a cheeky little kid. So,
Yeah. But I know you're a troublemaker, Estelle, so, you know.
I just
I'm
want
sure that-
people to remember me.
Yeah. No, they certainly do that, Estelle.
That's all. That's why I cause murder. It's not because I want to upset people. I just want people to go. I don't ever want anybody to say, Estelle, who?
And they never will, Estelle.
Yeah, you will.
You leave an impression wherever you go, good or bad.
Yeah, that's it. And I don't care which one it is. Oh, well, that's been a great show. It's just been so lovely to finally get to the end of our first year, our lovely little
Yeah.
Wednesday show. We hope you've enjoyed it.
And did we think we were ever going to get to our second
I
year?
know, yeah. That's it. We just didn't think, did we? That would
No.
be this successful and
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah, it's been really fun. It's like a hobby. I've really, really enjoyed it, but met some great people and
Yeah.
get the message out there, which is all good.
Before we sign off, we'd just like to say thank you to all the listeners out there who supported us in our first year, all the fabulous guests that came on and shared their stories. And we know, like, some of them, you know, you really did expose yourself, put it that way. We really do appreciate it, because by doing that, you are normalising these cancer conversations, and we applaud you all. So thank you, thank you,
Yes.
thank you.
Absolutely. And like, review, and follow us on all the social media platforms, because we love your comments and we love hearing what you think of the show. And please write in as well.
So you can write into us at stories@tissitowers.com. We are on Facebook and Instagram. Get it off your chest, the funny side of breast cancer. But until next time, stay healthy. Bye.
Bye.